All right. Make sure everyone, perfect. So now I'm at my command homepage. And like I said, we're going to get started by just finishing up some of the layout information about command that we didn't talk about on Monday. And then we'll get into marketing profile and agent branding. So on the homepage, there's a lot of information here. And the idea of the way that this homepage is set up is that way when you immediately log into command in the morning, you know exactly what it is you need to do, you know exactly how you're pacing towards your goal, and all that information is right there so you can quickly eye it and then jump into the tasks that you need to do for that day. So starting at the top, I have my task widget here, and tasks are going to be items that I need to do. I can either set tasks by client or contact. So if I have a conversation and I need to do a follow-up task, tasks can also be from smart plans. So you'll see here, I have my quarterly call plan set up with some agents. So I need to call them today. That's on my to-do list. And then you can also have tasks from opportunities. So as you move contacts through the sales funnel at each different phase and stage, there are going to be different tasks that you need to do to help manage that relationship and move it along. The task will show up here. It's going to default to all tasks, but if you wanted to, you can set up contact tasks. So this is going to be those tasks that you add manually in an individual contact, or opportunity tasks. I have onboarding tasks here, and that's a part of the command MC, which you should not have. You can also create a new contact task right here from your home screen. Just click the plus sign, and then you can create that task here. We'll talk through tasks in more detail next week in, I think, TC04, 3 or 4. Scrolling down, I have my goals versus actuals. And this is based on my financial goals that I set up for 2021. And it lets me know that if I want to have an estimated GCI of $175,000, I need to have 30,000 or 31,000 leads, breaks that into appointments, into contracts, and then closed units based on my average cost per sale. Now you'll notice that a lot of this information here hasn't been updated, and that's because there's been a lot of work on the back end with the offers and commissions tabs and opportunities, which has then directly affected reporting, which is why this information right here isn't correct. But I would recommend, if you haven't yet set up your goals, go ahead and do that. So that way, when you log in the morning, you know, all right, this is how I'm pacing towards my goal. And you can run your business like a business when you know how everything is going. To the right of my goals versus actuals, I have design updates. And the labs team is always working on adding new designs to the designs applet that you can take advantage of and you can use for free. All of these images you have implicit permission to use, so you can use them in your marketing, in your emails, on Facebook. Check them out here. There's a lot of culturally and contextually relevant content here. Like we have some new Black History Month items, and then a couple here. You can just click preview and it'll just open up a quick image. Thank you card. That's great. Something cool that you could use. Scrolling down, we have our database health. And this is important because at the core of any successful real estate company or real estate business is going to be your database. This here lets you know how your database compares to other agents in the office or in Keller Williams in the state, or all agents. So you can see here, here's my database health score. And then here's the office market center score. So you can see I'm underpacing the health of the other agents in the First Atlanta office. And then it breaks it down by contact type. So phone numbers, I only have only 16% of my contacts have phone numbers, but 61% of the office's contacts have phone numbers. So that lets me know that is an area that I need to focus on. And that may be, as I'm doing my lead gen, either through emails or maybe Facebook messaging, I start to ask for contacts' phone numbers and say, hey, I'm updating my database. Would you mind sharing your most up-to-date phone number with me? I have emails here. So again, underpacing the office with only 55% of my contacts having emails. Addresses, so I have 32%, but the office only has 24. So I'm overpacing, but I may not need those addresses really. And then over here we have neighborhoods. And again, because I have so many more addresses, I have more neighborhood assigns. If you want to, you can see, like I said earlier, you can compare to other agents in Georgia, all agents. So how does my database compare to all KW agents? And then one thing that I think is really interesting and is worth checking out is click agents in production bracket above mine. So as I want to take my business to that next level and I want to increase my GCI and I want to increase my average cost per sale, well, what do the databases look like for those agents that are doing that business? 75% of those contacts in those agents' databases have phone numbers, and 87% have email. But only 10% have addresses and 3% have neighborhoods. So that lets me know that if I really want to take my business to that next level and continue growing, that I need to focus on getting phone numbers and email addresses. Those are going to be my main 2 points of contact, because I need to continue and focus on those quarterly calls, those monthly newsletters, those monthly neighborhood updates, and start providing that real value to my database. Again, this is just so that way you can get that quick, instant update of how your database is performing. And it also can help drive those conversations when you are doing your quarterly calls or quarterly text messages or Facebook messages. To the right of that, we have product updates. The labs team is always working on updating Command and making sure that everything is working properly and adding some new features as they receive feedback from agents. Over here in this product updates widget, it's just going to give you a quick update of what's going on. So here we can see this week's updates for contacts. Team members with unlimited permissions can now update the owner of the team within the team account, and team members with unlimited permissions can now archive contacts. So that's a new setting that team members were not able to do in the past. So if you ever are curious what's going on and what's new, you can check out the what's new widget. And then what's next, if you're curious about what is going to be coming down the pipeline for Command, product tours and contacts, opportunities and smart plans, import wizard with an easier contact import process, and printing available in designs. So those are some pretty cool features. And most of the items and updates that happen in Command are directly related to the feedback that agents provide. So as I walk through on Monday, you do have the ability to leave feedback, and you can vote up either your piece of feedback or idea or another agent's, and the more votes that that idea has, the more likely the labs team is to implement that idea sooner than later. Scrolling down, I have new leads to claim. So I don't actually have any new leads, but if you are running a lead generating campaign and those leads are coming in through Facebook or Google AdWords or any other lead generation campaign that you have, they're going to show up here. And if they haven't been claimed, I can come in here and I can claim them. This again is to make it really quick and easy for you to see, oh, I have a new lead, and you can start that follow-up process and start establishing that relationship. To the right of that, I have Notepad. And this Notepad is for me just to quickly jot down anything that's on my mind, any notes, quick ideas. This is for me personally. This isn't going to be shared with any contacts. This isn't going to be shared with the Market Center. So this is just for you as a reminder. And then scrolling down, we have recent leads. So here you can see a lead that came in from my website, Ronald McDonald, that I added a couple months ago. This is just so that way I can see all those new leads that have come in, making sure that I'm managing those relationships. Those are all the widgets that we have for the homepage. And again, this is supposed to be just that quick kind of 10,000 foot view of what's going on in your business. So when you log into Command, every morning you see, all right, this is what I need to do. This is who I need to contact. This is how my business is going. And you can set the plan for that day or that week of what it is that you need to do. You may have noticed that your home screen looks a lot different than mine. You do have the ability to customize your home screen. So up here in the top right-hand corner, there's this button that says Customize Home. Click on this, and this is going to show us all the widgets that we have available for us to use. We don't have to use all of them on the home screen. I have them all here, but you can check all or uncheck the ones that you don't want. So if you're like, I don't really care what's going on in designs, I don't need that, just uncheck it and remove it over here from the system. Then once you decided on which widgets you would like to have, you can then put them in whichever order you want. Now you'll notice that some are rectangles and some are squares. For whatever reason, the rectangle items can only remain on the left-hand side and the square items can only remain on the right-hand side. I don't know why that is, but you can just drag these items into whichever position you want. I'm gonna put leads at the top. I'm gonna put my tasks back at the top, and then bring my goals versus actual, and I'm gonna add designs back in here. And I'm gonna bring designs down to the bottom. That's not, not that important. So I have my customization of how I would like to see my homepage. Click apply. And now you can see here's my new updated home screen. So when I log in every morning, I can see exactly what it is that is most important to me and my business. Any questions about any of the widgets on the home screen, what any of that information is, and how to update or rearrange your home screen for your personal preference? All right. So now that we've walked through the home screen layout, let's walk through the marketing profile. To get to our marketing profile, I'm going to click up here in my name and then come down to settings. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to click connect settings and then marketing profile. The marketing profile is going to be where you can put in all of the information about yourself that will be useful across your app, your website, and any landing pages that you may make. And it's going to make it super easy for all of that information to get pulled into those different websites, so you don't have to manually add it every single time. The benefit is here, it's going to make it so much easier for you. And also this information will get pulled into your designs as well. So again, just making it a lot easier for you to use the streamlined processes of command. So starting at the top over here on the right-hand side, you'll see use my information to brand my agent site. Make sure that toggle is turned on so it's green. That is what is going to allow command to use this information across all the different applets and pull in your information when you make your agent website. If you do not have this toggle turned on, your agent website will not be functional because it will not have permission to use your information. So below here, we have my photo. And this is going to be the photo, my headshot that is used on my website, on my mobile app. You'll notice here it recommends a size of 360 by 360. Because this renders in a circle, it recommends that square dimension. So that way it loads properly here. If you don't have a 360 by 360 image and you just upload your traditional headshot, it will likely stretch it out and it'll look kind of wonky. So I would recommend make a 360 by 360 image. You can do that in designs, and I'll show you how to do that at the end of this call as well. So that way you can get everything set up. The next here we have team logo, and this is going to be if you have your own team, your real estate team. This is not going to be First Atlanta. Now you could, if you don't have your own personal logo, you could upload a standard Keller Williams logo or a First Atlanta logo, whichever is your preference. But I would recommend you upload something just so then that way there isn't any blank spaces on your website or any emails or anything that you set up. And again, this is going to be a 360 by 360 image.
And Nick, where can we find those logos?
So
to download?
Yeah, so for the First Atlanta logos, I will show you. It's Rawls Group Help Desk. helpdesk.com. And then up here in the top right-hand corner, Scott Hardy has created a downloads link, and then click on Market Center logos. And then you can just click on the First Atlanta logo over here, or this zip drive over here, and it's going to be a zip drive with all the different formats of the First Atlanta logo. So it's going to have the full color one, a white version, a gray version. It's going to have a white background, transparent background, and then a couple other different file formats. So you have a lot of different options there. So I'd recommend save that zip file onto your computer, and then that way you don't have to worry about it. Let me click back into Command. So continuing to scroll down, we'll have my details, and this is going to be the basic information about me. Most of this information will probably be loaded in for you just based out of your Keller Williams profile, but double check it, make sure it's accurate, and if it's missing any information, please add it. I know it seems silly, like, oh, I don't really need my agent license number, but the more information you're able to provide here means the less likely you will be out of compliance for your website or app. And we always want to make sure that you as an agent are safe and protected and providing the information that GREC requires to consumers. So there's no confusion as to who manages the listing, who the clients are talking to, and all that. I don't want you to get hit with a fine from GREC for thousands of dollars. So the more information you can provide, the better. Professional job title, designations. So I just have realtor here, but if you have your buyer specialist, listing specialist, green housing designation, or any other designation, add that here. And then below that, we have your bio. If you have a really long bio, you can paste it in here. I do want to point out that for whatever reason, when you initially set up your website and you are using the agent bio or agent profile widget, the bio field only lets you have 280 characters, which is an unnecessary pain in the butt, in my opinion. So I would recommend keeping your bio here pretty short. If you have a longer bio, there is a workaround that we can go through to make sure that your website has your full bio. It's a couple extra steps. It's not difficult, but just for simplicity's sake, I would recommend that you keep your bio here pretty short, probably 1, 2, maybe 3 sentences. Scrolling down, we have our phone number, mobile phone, office number. You can add your fax number, which I don't have a fax number, so I can just add in the office number. And you'll notice that I'm not including dashes here. For whatever reason, in the marketing profile, it doesn't like you to have dashes because your phone number will render differently in different places throughout Command. So sometimes on your website, it'll have dashes, it'll have periods, who knows? So you can just add that information here without any of those dashes. Here is my email address and then my website. Now you'll notice here I have nicholascord.kw.com. As of now, our agent websites do not allow for a vanity URL, so I do own nicholascord.com. However, my agent website is nicholascord.kw.com. Hopefully in the next couple months, we will be able to use that vanity URL. So at the moment, anyone that goes to nicholascord.com gets automatically forwarded to nicholascord.kw.com. Scrolling down, we have our Market Center brokerage logo, and this is where you're going to want to add that Keller Williams First Atlanta logo that you can download from that rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. Again, this is asking for a 360 by 360 image. This is going to make sure that the First Atlanta logo renders properly within this circle. Now, I used a transparent background, which is why it looks like there's no background. It just matches kind of this beige background. And then to the right of that, we have our Market Center information. Again, include as much of this as possible to ensure that you are GREC compliant. So brokerage name, office number, address, and then our Market Center and license number. Scrolling down to our legal footer. In the state of Georgia, we're not required to have a legal footer on every single one of our websites. However, just for compliance reasons, I did add my name and realtor with Keller Williams First Atlanta. It's just another time that I can have my name and that one-to-one Keller Williams First Atlanta. You can add Each office is independently owned and operated if you want, or any other information that you see fit. Below that, we have legal footer links. Again, the state of Georgia, we're not required to have links, but some states do require that you link to fair housing information or any other additional information that will benefit the client or customer. If you wanted to, you could add those here. You can add multiple links to fair housing, mortgage information, I don't know, anything else that you wanted to include. And then below that, we have legal footer images. So here you can use the fair housing logo. You can upload the realtor logo. If you have any special designation logos, you can upload those here. And all this information would appear on the bottom of every one of your web pages. Continuing to scroll down, we have our social profiles. So you'll see here, I've added my social profiles for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the only three social media platforms that I really use as an agent. And I included all of my actual real estate profiles here. If you use Twitter or YouTube, you can add those links here. The benefit of having your links in the marketing profile is that every time you go to create a new website, these links will automatically add to the website. You don't have to manually copy paste the URL every single time. Scrolling down, we have Facebook ad pixels and Google Analytics IDs. This is going to be kind of a Command 2.0 feature. And this is really only going to be beneficial if you do a lot of lead gen campaigns through Command. So if you do a ton of Facebook pixels or you drive a ton of traffic to your website, you can then retarget those people on Facebook and track exactly what they're doing on your website. So you can add that pixel ID here to sync the two systems. And again, the same thing with Google Analytics. If you run a lot of SEO or SEM campaigns, you can track all those people as they go from your ad to your website and track them across the web, so you can continue to remessage them. If you have any questions about this, let me know and we can set up some one-on-one time, because this really is going to be kind of more of that 2.0 feature. And then down here, we have our branded KW app link. Again, this is just going to be here so that way on any time we add a widget or on our website, we can link to our KW app. If your app URL is not saved here, I can show you how to find that in just a few moments. So once you've gone through here and updated all that information, we're going to click Save. All right, your marketing profile was successfully saved. And again, this toggle over here on the right-hand side is turned on, so it is green. Any questions so far about marketing profile, what information to include, what information to exclude? It's pretty straightforward. So this is really going to make it super easy for you as you start creating as your web pages, designs, everything like that. Now, the second part of this training is to go through agent branding, and this is going to be in the designs applet. And the benefit of going through up front in Command and adding all of your personal branded elements is that way when you start to create flyers and emails, all of that information is already included there. So that way you can have seamless brand identity across platforms, across channels, and every single touch point that you have with your database. So to start updating your agent branding, I'm going to go into designs. So I'm going to click on the designs applet, which is the square with the paintbrush icon. And then I'm going to click on the plus sign in the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm just going to click social. It doesn't really matter which one you click. It's going to take us to the same place, but I'll click social and then next. All right, this was happening yesterday. Let's see if we refresh it. All right. Let's try it again. Plus sign, social, next. Oop, all right. Let's try plus sign. Let's do print, next. Let's see if it works. All right, there we go. Fingers crossed. Perfect. Okay. So once you are in the designs editor, up here at the top, we have a couple different tabs of options. I'm going to click on My Assets. And then we have a menu over here on the left-hand side of all the different assets that we can upload. The first one is going to be colors and fonts. So we can have different color palettes. So obviously Keller Williams has its red and black, but if you have gone through and you've set up like, these are my 3 or 4 colors that I'm going to use with my brand every single time, you can go ahead and make those color palettes. So then as you're working in designs, you can immediately add that color and you don't have to search for that specific color. If you want to create a new palette, you can click New Color Palette over here, and then you can just add the different colors that you want. You can add the RGB color numbers. You can the HSL number, the hex number, and this is probably going to be the most common color number that you have. So I know that the Keller Williams color is B40101. So that is Keller Williams red, and I can just click enter. I can come over here, I can add another one. I can also just move my mouse around and then find whichever color I really want, and then just click enter. And now I've started to create my own personal brand color palettes.
Hey, Nick, quick question.
Yes.
The first palettes that were there, were those default or those ones that you created yourself?
These are ones that were already, that I created myself just from previous trainings.
Okay. Because exactly mine didn't look like that, so I wanted to make sure.
Yep, it shouldn't have any palettes in there if you haven't made any. I've just, as I've gone through these trainings, I guess I just need to like delete these and clean it out so it looks, a little bit more clean.
And is there possible to get those hexagonal things for like the KW colors and things like that as well? Or is there, where do we find those?
So I just typed in Keller Williams red hex, and it took me to a KWU page with all the Keller Williams colors on it. So if I just typed in
okay, so I was in Google.
Keller Williams red color hex, and then here, what are the PMS and CYK, boop, 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 and then come down here. Here's all the colors right here.
Okay.
And you can just use that hex code and paste that in. All right, going back into designs. Below color palettes, we have the ability to upload our own fonts. There are tons of fonts in Command, but if you have one that's personal for your brand that you've either paid for or you have a free copy of, you can upload that font in the system. And again, that's to make sure that your brand visuals are consistent across every single piece of marketing material and every single channel. So if you'd work with a branding or advertising agency and they've created some flyers and information for you, and then you come in here and you make it yourself, clients won't be able to know the difference, and you'll have that continuity across all those different platforms. You can search for web fonts here. So if you know the name of your font, you can search, and you can add it very easily from the web, which I do not have one, or you can upload your font to Command from your desktop. The next item in our menu is logos. And here you can upload a handful of different logos. So you'll see I have 4. I have the white Keller Williams First Atlanta logo. I have the red and white Keller Williams First Atlanta. I have my personal brand logo. And then I have the full color KW First Atlanta. I've gone ahead and I've uploaded all of these because as I'm working in designs, it makes it really easy for me just to drag and drop the Keller Williams First Atlanta logo or my personal brand logo. And I have the white options here just because different images will have, the white would look better than the gray, depending on how dark that image is. So the more logos you can add here, the better. You're going to set yourself up so that way you can easily add those logos to your design marketing materials. The next item we have is Smart Text. And Smart Text is going to be any text that you are going to consistently use on pieces of marketing material. So you can see here, we have phone number, website, username, slogan, company name, address. This is just going to have to sit. This is going to save me time that every time I create a new piece of marketing material that I don't have to type in 200 Glenridge Point Parkway, Suite 100. I can just click Smart Text and it'll automatically add it to my piece of marketing material. I can add a new field very easily. Just click New Field. Ask me what type of text I want to add. So I can just add, let's say Instagram, and then I can just type in www.instagram.com/Nicholas Core, and then click Save. All right. I don't know why it's not saving. There we go. So now I've added my Instagram widget right here, add the smart text. So that way, if I want to add Instagram to any of my flyers, just click smart text, boop, and it's on there. You can add more. You can create folders. So if you want to organize the different pieces of smart text, you can do that as well. The next menu item is images. And I've uploaded my headshot. I have a couple different versions of my headshot here. If you have your headshot, I would recommend that you upload it here so that way you can add it to your images, or excuse me, to your marketing material. It's really easy. You can just click upload here and then drag or paste from a different website. And then you can also organize them here. So if you want to add a different headshot, if you have one that you want to use specifically for luxury versus non-luxury, or let's say you have, you know, some pieces of marketing material you want to look more casual, other times you want to look more business professional, you can have those different options here. Below that, we have elements. And elements are going to be any secondary or tertiary brand icon. So if you have any of those elements or specific brand items you want to add, you can add those here. So that way, again, so you can have that consistency across all channels with your marketing materials. Below that, we have videos. So if you want to upload some videos and you want to make some videos in Designs, you can go ahead and upload those videos here. This may be kind of like an intro or an outro that you could use at the beginning or end of a video, or any other video files you want to add here. Very simply click on the plus sign to add video. And again, you can organize those in folders. And then the last item here is files. So this is if you have any files that you want to upload, whether it be PDFs or JPEGs or any other type of file that you just want to go ahead and have in Command, so that way you can reference it or use it later on. You can upload that here. And again, you can organize it into different folders over here in the top right-hand side. Any questions about updating and uploading your brand assets into Designs? It's pretty straightforward, but by going ahead and managing this on the front end of using Command, as you start to play around in the system and you start creating your websites and you start creating flyers and emails, having all of this information and all those creative pieces already uploaded is going to make it super easy. So that way you can have that brand identity consistent across all channels and pieces of marketing material. So that is it for this morning's training. Pretty quick. What questions do you have? What can I clarify? What can I show you? What did you think I was going to talk about today that I didn't, that I can, spend the next couple minutes going through?
Well, the one thing I do want to ask is the Marketing Center logos again. So it only gives you the one option, not the different colors. So you download it, and are you able to change it at that point?
What do you mean it only gives you the one option?
So like, the color ones first Atlanta just gives you the red with the black font.
No,
versus like the red and the white font and
so like for my logos here, you can see I have the all white one,
right?
And then I have the red KW with the white First Atlanta. When you download that zip drive from Rawls Group Help Desk, all those different versions are going to be in that zip drive.
Okay.
So, and these, the versions that I have uploaded here that have the transparent background are going to be the .png files. So if you, I would recommend that you use a transparent background. To me, just looks a little bit nicer to not have that white box around it. And the transparent background file will always be the .png file. Any other questions? Anything else I can clarify for you, show you again? All right. Well, if there are no other questions, I'll put 23 minutes back on your calendar. I appreciate you joining me this morning. And as you start to play around in Command and work in design and setting up your agent website, please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions. Give me a call, text me, and we can always set up one-on-one time as well on our calendar. So have a great rest of your morning, and I will talk with you all soon. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye.